Hey, Andy here from 2-Minute Tech Tutorials. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an automatic table of contents within Microsoft Word. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating this on Microsoft Word for Mac, but if you're a Windows user, you'll still be able to follow along because everything I'm going to cover in this tutorial, you can indeed do on a Windows version of Microsoft Word. It's just that some of the options may live in slightly different places, but the principles are still the same. If after watching this video tutorial you want to share it with anybody, please feel free to do that. And of course, if you enjoy the video, do give it a like. Finally, if you're viewing this video and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button to support my 2-Minute Tech Tutorial channel. Now let's take a look at how to create a table of contents automatically within Microsoft Word. The biggest benefit of creating table of contents automatically in Word is that it can save you a lot of time. There's no need for you to manually type out your table of contents. With one simple button, you can add a full table of contents automatically to your document. The other benefit is if any of your headings change, or if the pages change, or the content moves to another page, you can quickly update that table to reflect those changes. So this is probably one of the biggest time savers that you'll find in Microsoft Word. And if you've been creating your table of contents manually, then this is going to be a real eye-opener for you. Now, first of all, you'll see in the document I have on screen, I've highlighted some of my headings. So I've got level 1 heading here, level 1, then I've got level 2, level 2, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now, of course, in the document, normally you wouldn't have these type of names for headings, but I've put these in just to make it clear where I'm going to apply heading 1, 2, and 3 styles. And that's important because the only way you can create a table of contents automatically in Microsoft Word is to make use of these style options. Now, I'm not going to cover them in any detail in this particular tutorial, but I do have another video covering that, which I'll link to in the card above just now, and I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in learning more about styles in Microsoft Word. I'll also put that at the end of this particular video. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to insert just a blank page before here. So we're going to put a page in. This is where the table of contents is going to go. Now, to insert the table of contents, what we do is position the cursor where we want it. We're going to go to the References tab, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go to Table of Contents, and you'll see they've got automatic table of contents here, and there's a couple of different styles. Okay, so there's a few to choose from. Now, you can completely customize these, but for now I'm going to keep this really simple and just choose one of these. So I'll probably just go for this classic one. Now, you'll see what will happen when I insert it. It's going to say that no table of contents entries have been found, and that's because within this document, every single piece of text, if I go back to the Home tab, is just using this normal text style because we haven't yet applied styling for the table of contents to use. So what you essentially need to do is you need to apply these heading styles to your headings. So I'm going to put heading 1 for this one. I'm going to go down, this one's heading 1, so I'm just clicking on the style after clicking in the text. This is heading 2, and I'm doing this very quickly because, as I said, I have a full tutorial explaining how to do this, which you can view in your own time. But I'll go to heading 2 here, and then finally we've got a third level heading here, heading 2, and I'll just do this one to finish off. Now I'm going to go back up to here. You'll see that the table of contents still hasn't populated with the contents, even though I have applied the heading. And that's because what we need to do is click inside the table of contents and either go to References, use this update table, or we can go to the down pointing arrow and then update table here. If you want to though, you can also change to another style. So at this point, rather than updating, if I wanted to make use of this one, I could simply select it, and then you'll see it has now brought in the headings and the pages that those headings are on. And the great thing about the table of contents here is that it's clickable. So if you were to go and click on this heading here, it will take me to page 5. And this works for PDFs as well. So it essentially forms clickable links to the pages in the document. Now what you'll see is it has carried through the formatting and the colors that I've used on these. So I'm just going to select all of the contents in this document, and I'm going to quickly remove the color from the text. So you'll see that it just changes it back. Now here we have a basic table of contents, and as I said, it's pulling the information through. The great thing here is if I was to put in a page return here, So this level 1 heading is now moved down to page 3, but it's still showing as page 2 here. However, if I click inside the table of contents and then go to update table, it will ask me if I want to update the entire table or just the page numbers. Now I always update the entire table because if I happen to have changed the name of the particular heading, it will update that too, whereas if I had updated the name but only choose to update page numbers, it won't change the name in here. So personally, I always just make sure I update the entire table. I'm going to click OK, and you'll see that that now changes to page 3 because it has moved, and all of the pages which followed have moved down as well. The next thing I want to show you is quickly how to insert page numbers, because as you can see, although this is physically page 2 of the document and this one's page 3, we have the page numbers in the table here, but we don't have any in the document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the footer here for this page, which is page 2. I'm going to double click in the footer and I'm just going to quickly throw some page numbers in. Now, like I have mentioned with the styles, I also have a tutorial explaining how to insert page numbers and format them and work with them in Microsoft Word. I'll put the card for that above just now, and I'll also put a link to that in the description and at the end of this video. So if you want to know more about working with page numbers in Microsoft Word, you can check those tutorials out too. I'm going to take off this show number on the first page because I don't want them on my table of contents page. I just want the page numbers to begin after that. I'm going to click OK, and then you'll see as I scroll down we have page 2, 3, 4, and then the first page is where table of contents doesn't have any page numbers. Now one thing you can do is, if I just quickly undo that, so we'll take out the page numbers. If, for example, what you wanted was page numbers to begin on the second page but appear as page 1, you can go to page numbers, insert page number, take off show on first page, but instead I'm going to go start at 0. Then when I click OK, and then close the header and footer, you'll see the first page doesn't have the page numbers, but the next page is actually page 1 in terms of numbering. Final thing we've got to do, of course, is we need to update it. So I'm going to go to update, and you'll see once we do update the entire table, the numbers will have updated for us. So that's a quick look at how to add a table of contents, how to update the table of contents, and how to add the page numbers. Last thing I want to show you is if you go to references, table of contents, and then custom table of contents, then you have the option in here when you're adding a table of contents to choose how many levels you want to show. So we've only got 4 in use right now, or 3 in fact, but you can have right the way down to heading 9. You can also do things like show the page numbers or decide not to show the page numbers, which you would probably never do. And you can do things like the tab leader can be full lines or dash lines instead of dot lines, or you can take off the dots and just have nothing between. So you can really customize it from here. You can choose the different formats, and you can also modify these. So there's loads of options that are available in here to fully customize how your table of contents looks. But in essence, that is how you can create a table of contents in Microsoft Word and how you can perform some basic edits to it. Hopefully you have found this tutorial useful. If you have, please give it a like, and of course if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. But now, why not take a look at the 2 tutorials for applying styles to text in Microsoft Word and inserting page numbers.